What's up, peoples? This is your man, AG Got Beats, back again with another More Than Beats podcast. I got my co-host in here with me, my homeboy, Billy Blast. Say what's up to the people, B.
Alright, what's going on, y'all? It's Billy Blast, Mr. Help Me Help You Be Vintage, back again with the More Than Beats podcast. My man, AG Got Beats. What's good, brother?
Ain't nothing, man. Chilling, man. How you been?
I'm coolin', man. Just, starting off, rolling into the new year, man. Trying to get everything together. Still moving and shaking, though.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here. As far as the new year go, that always comes up with NAMM, man. And that's a big thing going on this week. What you got planned for NAMM? Or what you looking for?
I don't know, man. To my knowledge, honestly, I think Akai might be having something popping, man, because they lowering a lot of their prices on these MPCs, man. So they might have something in store, man. I don't know. That's what I'm looking forward to see what Akai is doing.
The mobile community is just going crazy right now. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. That iPad is like really, really powerful, man. And like, we know a couple of people ourselves that use the iPad that get like super busy on the joint.
Oh, definitely.
A lot of people, that's like they central. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, Marv, that's like that's the brain of his whole organization is that iPad, and he gets super busy on the iPad. It's just like, you know what? It's just like people like people used to say stuff about FL Studio. You understand what I'm saying? But I know some people that made some dope ass records from FL Studio.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And but go ahead.
Nah, it's like I know, man. It's not about the machine or it's about the man behind the machine.
Yeah, the man behind it. Indeed.
It don't matter what you using for real. You don't need nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you can make heat with some pots and pans, man, so be it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get busy. Yeah, word up. Get busy, man.
But as far as the iPad goes, I was just looking at all the apps that come out with it. Like, say for instance, you have like, your synth apps, you have your sample or your DAW apps, you got, all kind of those chords apps that we talked about on the last podcast. It's just so many different apps, man. And and then you got like the organs, and you got just all kind of different stuff, man.
B3s and hammers and all of that you could use on the iPad. Yeah, it gets crazy, man.
And them joints sound authentic too, man. That's the crazy part about it.
For it to be digital, it sounds good too.
Yeah, man. So like I said, I haven't really got all the way into it, but that's definitely on the table for me, like coming up this year in 2020. What are you looking for as far as 2020? Are you making any changes to your workflow? Are you adding anything? Are you taking away anything? What's up with you?
Nah. I don't really need to take away or add anything. I mean, you could always use more sounds, but outside of that, like it ain't nothing really for me to add anymore. You know what I'm saying? I got a microphone I could carry with me.
Okay.
Bluetooth speaker. But obviously the live don't use Bluetooth that well with no speakers, you know what I'm saying? Until that would be dope when you could Bluetooth with the speaker. But then I don't even really want to Bluetooth a speaker with the live because the latency, you know what I'm saying? That latency it'll probably be crazy, but like I don't really need to add nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Just what I have right now is super good, and just probably update the software for the live. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm really straight, man. I don't really need to do nothing else. Everything fits in my book bag, and I'm gone.
Now you just grazing over something. I was trying to lead into something else, man. But you're not gonna mention it, so I'll mention it, man. What's up with that SP1200?
I got the SP1200 in here. You know what I'm saying? It's sitting here heavy, but I just need some place to put it. You know what I'm saying? So I was brainstorming with some ideas about a stand that I might get. You know what I'm saying? To put that joint in. But my plans are to actually probably either get a stand for it to put on here or invest in getting a bigger desk to put it on the desk. But 9 times out of 10, I'm probably leaning towards the stand and just sit it in the stand and put it on the side of my desk, and then run, you know what I'm saying, a lot of my sounds through the SP, which is something that I added a while ago, from the blessings of my good brother Dawood, you know what I'm saying? but I definitely need some space just to be able to run that joint, to plug it up so I can use it efficiently, because I don't want to have it sitting somewhere, then I got to unplug it and then put it down. So when I get a stand for it, you know what I mean, I'm going to definitely have that joint running officially.
Okay. All right, so since we on that, like what do you think the difference in sound quality is between that and something like the MPC Live or X nowadays?
Oh, it don't matter. There's no comparison, man. There's no crunch like the SP1200, man. That grit that the SP1200 has is unmatched, man.
Okay. Now
it's unmatched, which I think is I love the crunch of that. The crunch of the SP is ridiculous.
Do you think now today, you know, with all the lo-fi and things that's going kind of back to, you know, the 80s, 90s or whatever, the golden era of hip hop, do you think that the SP1200 is something that people could adapt to nowadays versus being, you know, spoiled by all the digital stuff or the new age technology that's going on? Do you think people could work backwards?
Yeah, because there's something that's happening like right now. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're aware of it, but there's somebody out there right now that is that's creating the SP1200 software.
Oh yeah, I see. Matter of fact, you sent me the link.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, he goes by the name of Low Hiss. If I'm not mistaken, it's Low Hiss, who is the creator of the SP1200 software. And I ain't going front. Like, I want to get my hands on that because it sounds super dope.
Okay.
It sounds super dope. Like I don't know what he's doing or how he's emulating it, but it has the ring and everything, man. So that might give people a little advantage coming up soon with that. But again, it's still digital. There's nothing like that analog SP1200 sound. It can be imitated but not duplicated. One of them type of things. You understand what I'm saying? Like it has a certain warmth coming out of the analog that digital just won't give you. You know what I mean? You won't get it from it.
Got you. Do you think that with stuff like that that's coming out now, like the Low Hiss plugin, the SP1200 plugin, do you think it's even worth going backwards and spending, you know, the type of money that people are asking for these vintage hardware? Like, do you think that it's worth doing that right now when you got emulation plugins?
I don't think people are going to buy original, like an original SP1200 as opposed to the emulator. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that, you know what I mean, you know, real shit, like the cost. You know what I'm saying? Them SP1200s is like $3-4 grand out there right now. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes higher than that.
Yeah, as opposed to buying, you know what I'm saying, a software emulator that you can just have in your computer. You know what I mean? You might not get you might get 70% of what you would get if you actually had a hardware SP1200. So you could figure trying to get an SP1200 for $3 or $4 grand, or get this emulator and get 70% of it, then people are gonna start adding their own plugins and their own effects on it to even make it a little more dirtier. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely see people going with the emulator as opposed to getting the actual hardware, man.
Right. And then it makes sense as well as if you came up in a digital age where technology was, you know, more advanced, than paying the $3,000-$4,000 to go back to a machine that probably won't do half, not even a quarter of the stuff that you could do now. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes in our mind, we might think that limitations are good and it forces creativity, which it does, but sometimes it might hinder your workflow as well because you're used to doing something a certain way. Right. You know, and then it's like, damn, like I gotta load floppies now. I gotta, you know, get all my sounds. I gotta sample everything into the SP or the MPC or whatever, versus getting a sample pack and just dragging and dropping. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and that's I think that's from a, you know, there's certain people from certain eras, you know what I'm saying, like our era and before us, that actually appreciate having the hardware, because it's like not many people can say that they have a SP1200.
Right, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? So actually having the actual hardware is really dope, and I don't mind that 13 seconds, man. I appreciate that 13 seconds on that joint, man.
Right. And it forces you to do things in different ways. Again, like I was saying earlier, like it goes back to it forces creativity when you have your limitations. And I think that helps you create more simplistic beats, which were, a part of the golden era. It's like
and simplistic but dope though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of the simplicity of it, because you only had a certain amount of time, so you had to be real creative, speeding up the samples and then pitching them in the SP1200, and doing that, like you said, it pushed you to be more creative, because you was like, damn, I only got this X amount of time, you know what I'm saying, and I gotta use only a certain amount of sound, so you was forced to be creative as opposed to now, you know what I'm saying, you could sample the MPC, you can sample like 22 minutes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like 13-second samplers and 8-second samplers, you know what I mean? You had to really utilize that time and be real creative with what you had, which again, like you said, forces more creativity, and it made them beats was simplistic, but oh man, them joints was tough. Like I never heard like Large Professor and Pete Rock and them, like, yo, what they did with the SP1200 was crazy. Like it was bananas, man.
Right.
It's hard to emulate too.
Not definitely. And the thing is too, what I like about the fact of the limitation of the 12 seconds, it also created a byproduct, because you had to speed the samples up before you actually put them into the the hardware. Yeah. It gave you like that gritty, crunchy sound when you had to slow them down. And it gave the SP1200 that ring, or whatever, the ASR 10 had a crunch, or the MPC, or the S950, like all of them had like that dirt behind it, and that was coming from having to speed the sample up and then slow it down once you got into it.
Yeah, pitching it down once you got in there.
Exactly. So I think that was dope within itself, because that was like the essence of hip hop back, coming up in the 90s or whatever. It was like that sound, and that sound is something that is hard to emulate with the plugins. I mean, you got plugins that do it for you, but it's still, to me, it still doesn't have that authenticity. You know what I'm saying? It's still missing certain frequencies that when you listen to, like you said, a Pete Rock or a Large Professor or Premier joint, it just have that certain quality of grit that you can't get.
That you can't get nowhere else. Yeah, true indeed.
Right. Not unless you know exactly what you're doing. Like if you use this type of hardware and you used to that sound, and you can get on something of the new age and tweak it to get that sound. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you ain't come up in that era, you just kind of guessing.
Yeah. You just twisting knobs and spinning, pushing buttons, man.
Right.
Word up, indeed, man.
So what do you? Go ahead.
Go ahead. What was you about to say, brother?
I said, so what are your thoughts about anything else with NAMM? Like, what? Let's go back. Why do you go to NAMM?
I go to NAMM honestly to politic and just look and see what's new coming out. You know what I'm saying? What we looking forward to in the next year to come out. You know what I'm saying? Politics, see what's going on. You know what I mean? Get into some sessions, because it's always stuff going on. They be having jam sessions at NAMM, and of course, it's a lot of artists, it's a lot of producers up there, so making new relationships, man. And then the dope thing about it too is, during that week and that weekend of NAMM, it'd be a lot of studio sessions going on. So you never know who you end up in the studio session with. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that that's the whole energy surrounding the whole weekend. It's just a lot of music. I love the vibe of it, actually. And, hearing all types of different music, seeing all the new equipment that's coming out, new keyboards, new plugins, and all of that. Yeah, it's like that. That's what I go to NAMM for, man, for the whole experience. And then, you get an opportunity to get into some of these studios up there, man, and create relationships off of vibes, man.
Right. And that's a point I would like to, discuss as well. It's like, how important is it for producers to get out and network? I mean, I know within the last 6-7 years that we've been doing it, we kind of been around the whole country, and we've been, meeting different people, different from different events, and hanging out with different people and vibing with different people. Like, I think that's like a necessity nowadays, as far as if you're a producer trying to come up in the game and your resources are limited. It's just you in your bedroom. I think it's very important to get out and meet people. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's and you already know me, man. I'm a super people's person anyway. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So it's definitely important to get out and vibe with people and meet up and, you know what I'm saying, get other energies. You know what I mean? Because you get trapped inside your own. You get trapped inside your own paradigm when you stuck just inside of your room producing and all of that. And then what happens is, you know what I'm saying, you get trapped inside the social media aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? So then when you creating, you know what I'm saying, and then you putting stuff on social media and you don't get the reaction from social media that you feel is warranted, you know what I'm saying, then that puts you in a position to where you kind of become antisocial. Because you like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody likes my stuff, you know what I mean? But you got to think about it, man. There's, when people get out and network, that's really important, because you socialize, you get to feel other energies, you know what I mean? Then you can learn and bounce ideas off of other people. So I would definitely say that getting out and networking is highly, highly important, because nobody pays it. I mean, people pay attention to Instagram, but you know how many people have how many artists or whatever, there's hundreds and thousands of people DMing them all types of beats and all of that. It's not the same when you out and you shaking hands. You understand what I'm saying? And rubbing shoulders, and you find yourself in studio sessions. Like, a lot of different things happen off of that. So getting out and networking is very, very, very important, man. And can't be no hermit crab in the crib when you're doing this, because that shit ain't gonna work.
Nah, definitely not. And one little tip that I can give people, like, if you're going out to these events and networking, be prepared, man. Have a plan on what it is that you want to accomplish when you get to these places, because it's so many people out there looking for certain things and wanting to do this and do that, or link with this person. If you get out there, man, and you get a chance to meet or link up with somebody that you've been trying to get in contact with, be prepared, because you only got like about a good 10-15 seconds to make a good impression. So whatever it is that you have planned, make sure you are prepared to get that accomplished when you out there and you meet people face to face. What are your thoughts, like giving them some type of advice on what to bring to these type of events?
Advice to bring to like events like NAMM, I would say, again, just a couple of what you was talking about. You know what I mean? Be prepared, man. You know what I'm saying? Be prepared. Just go to Staples or something. You know what I mean? And it's also important to invest in yourself. Buy some flash drives or something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Get a flash drive, throw some beats on there, and just, hand out flash drives to people. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it like this too. Like, when you come into these type of events, there's people that's there and they're looking for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're looking for you, but what sets you apart different from everybody else's presentation is half of the sale. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So by the time NAMM is over, I'm leaving with a bag full of CDs and all types of dope USB flash drives and all of that. So just think of creative ways that you can promote yourself when you out and you networking at these events. You know what I'm saying? You might want to get, like, they got these dope tape decks, but they actually USB flash drives. You know what I'm saying? You can invest in some tape decks, put your beats on it, label the flash drives, hand the flash drives out to people. You know what I'm saying? They have USB business cards now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. I was about to say, and don't, just piggyback off what you're saying, don't be afraid to, like you said, invest in yourself. Get yourself some merch, man. Get you some t-shirts, get you some bags, some grab bags with your logo on it or whatever, and pass them out. Like, a lot of times, man, when you passing stuff out for free, it might go unnoticed. People might throw it in the trash. But what about those 1 or 2 people that you connect with, and they have something to remember your face by when they get back home into their crib or whatever? They might just, well, let me check this dude out right here. He was cool, you know what I'm saying? His presentation was together, and he also gave me something that I could remember him by. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely something good too. I feel or whatever to bring to these events.
And one thing is important. You always gotta remember, man. A closed mouth does not get fed.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? At all, under no circumstances. So, when you see these people, don't get past the butterflies in your stomach. You understand what I'm saying? Because you be like, I don't know. Sometimes people clam up. You know what I'm saying? There's no time to clam up. You know what I mean? Closed mouth don't get fed. Just go. Get the courage to go and say something to whoever it is that you see, hand them something and keep it moving. Especially at these type of events, there's hundreds of people that you can hand your stuff out to. You know what I'm saying? But don't be, don't be afraid to say something to somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's more important because people can sense that type of energy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? People can sense that type of energy. So I would definitely say just have a lot of confidence in yourself and politics, man, politics. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's going on? Y'all trying to get some music played? Are there any open, especially for like a NAMM? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, are there any open studio sessions going on around here? I can come and play my beats. There's all type of people have all type of events going on afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's just in general.
Out there.
Yeah, and that's just in general, period. You know what I mean? So when you get out and you start networking, and a part of the networking, that'll also help you build up your confidence level. You know what I'm saying? But remember, everything is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So don't expect everybody to be like, yo, you're dope. Some people might be like, yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? But don't let that encourage you. Just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? And stay on the beaten path, man. That's what I would say. Stay on the beaten path.
Yeah, no, and definitely I'll piggyback on that too. It's like most of the time, people gonna not, they might not like your stuff or they might like your stuff, but within yourself, you gotta know when you get to a certain point, like when you're good, like when you're polished, that you're ready. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you're not good or people don't like what you do. It's that you're good, but it just might not be for them. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And you have to understand that. It's like when people, like, say after about a year or 2 years of producing, if you actually took it serious and you went hard with it, like at that point after 2 years, I feel you ready. It's still some things that you could learn, still some things, that you might not know that you could tweak here and there, but your style shouldn't dictate if you're good or not. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think people need to realize. Don't let people tell you that your style makes you not good. That's just something that they don't like. They prefer whatever it is. If it's boom bap, it's trap, if it's lo-fi, if it's future bass, or whatever the case may be, that's their preference. But that does not mean that you're not good.
Right. Yeah, don't be discouraged that way. Don't be discouraged. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, you know what I'm saying? If that's the case, just, with your craft, just be a little more well-rounded with your craft. You know what I'm saying? Build on listening to other genres of music. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how whatever other styles that people is digging in, that what the sound is of today. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And take that and infuse that with whatever it is that you doing.
Yeah.
And try to come up with something, not saying that you got to reinvent the wheel, you know what I mean? But just try to, just infuse what it is that you're doing with the sound of today, because you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know what happened, man. You never know what happened.
you might stumble upon a new genre. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like something, and that's kind of how new genres are created. It's just they taking a little bit of this genre, a little bit of that, and just mixing it together, and you getting, something unique at that point. I feel like I've done that in my production. It's like, I started off with, more boom bap, soulful, whatever the case may be, and then I kind of started putting, more trap elements or to modern to textures and things like that into my beats, and then your sound starts to develop a little bit more. And I can appreciate what the young kids are doing nowadays because I've started using some of their techniques. You know what I'm saying? And you start to understand their style of music, kind of like what people was talking to us when we were coming up. They was like, yo, what is that boobity bop shit going on? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, don't nobody want to hear that. You know, it's like what we
I can't understand what the hell they saying. Exactly. Now we saying the same things now. Like, yo, what the hell is it? I can't understand what they saying.
Their pants hanging down all over the ass. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it just,
when you start adding other elements, of music into what you're doing, that also makes you a little more diverse. You know what I'm saying? But so now, you know, to the person that only does, we'll say boom bap beats, but then, you know, you can do the boom bap beats and you can do the trap beats, so to speak, for lack of better terms. But then when you fuse them together, you know what I mean? Now you have the best of both worlds, so to speak. But there's people out there that look for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was something that Teddy Riley has said that was dope. It was like, yo, we're all creatives. You know what I'm saying? We all creatives. We all create a type of music. We all have genres of music. You know what I mean? The only reason you don't know what the genre of music is that you have is because you haven't given it a name yet.
Got you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was really dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's from somebody who's been in the game, 30 years?
Yeah,
30 plus.
30 plus. Yeah,
you know?
30 plus, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I would definitely love to get in the session, out there at NAMM or something with a Teddy Riley. I just want to be in there just to see what the session is like. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that I would love to get in studio sessions just to vibe and just see what the vibe of the session is and how people work. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's we can go ahead and delve into that. It's like when you sit back and you watch somebody that I don't even know that you look up to or that you inspire to be like, and you see them actually making their beats and stuff like that, and then you might catch a glimpse of some things that you do and you see that they do it too. Like, do you kind of, is that like some type of gratification or solidify, in your mind that you're there, you're on a professional level, or does that just say, me and him did that in common? I mean, that's something where I would look at and be like, okay, like I'm on the right path. There's been plenty of times where I've used samples, you know what I'm saying, and heard other producers use the sample, and I'd be like, oh, I did that. But that just goes to show me, I guess that's where the saying comes when you say genius minds think alike. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I just take that and I look and be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? I do it that way, but I do it kind of different. But that means that I might be on the right path here. You understand what I'm saying? Right. I'm gonna just stay this course and then try to elevate from there. And also too, you know what I mean? A lot of times, you might be in a session and see somebody do something, you know what I'm saying? And you could just be like, hey yo, you could do 2 less steps than what you did and get to that also. And then they like, word, how? They're like, oh shit, you show them something like, yo, I ain't know that. You know what I mean? Now what happens is now you a creative mind and they like, yo, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like, yo, such and such might know a little something. You know what I'm saying? Hold them around. You know what I'm saying? Keep them around or keep them close. You know what I'm saying? So that, yeah, man. In studio sessions, I'm always looking around to see like who's doing what and how people are working, to see like how does that complement my workflow, or what type of things do we do the same, or like you said, or like we have some type of common ground during the creation period. You know what I'm saying? I always look out for that. Right.
When you in the studio, or when you get hit up, by people asking you questions about how to do things, workflow and stuff like that, how does that make you feel? Like, do you like it, or do you not mind helping people, or do you feel like sometimes they hit you up and that's all they expect from you? Like, they're never looking to reciprocate any type of I don't know, like just give it back to you in any kind of way.
Yeah, I know what you mean. for me personally, you know what I'm saying? For me personally, I don't mind helping people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because helping people helps me. You know what I'm saying? That makes me feel, I guess, so to speak, that makes me feel like I'm a bigger and better person in this world by helping somebody. Now, again, you can't help everybody. Everybody can't be helped. Everybody can't be saved. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But I don't mind helping people when they ask for something. But you know, and it's also too, man, it's also too like a delivery. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody's always constantly just asking you for shit, yo, you know, that shit gets tiring after a while, man. You like, yo, listen, man, I don't know. I don't have it. No, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, you know, don't reciprocate in that manner. They just got their hand out with nothing in it all the time. But, you know, there's some people that a lot of people for the most part, I don't mind helping. You know what I mean? If you need some help with something and there's some type of knowledge that I have, I'll definitely let you know and hand down the knowledge, because each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that we'll be able to build each other up and keep a strong community, is if each one is teaching one. But it definitely has to be some type of reciprocation. Not saying that it's looked for.
And it has to be some type of balance, man. And that's what any relationship,
indeed.
Any relationship, it got to be a give and take, you know. And I come from a standpoint of when I first started, that's all I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was helping people, and you know, to piggyback off of what you said, helping people helps you, because when somebody comes to you for advice, it might be advice on things that you not necessarily know or you don't do. So to help them, you have to go and educate yourself and learn more to be of help to somebody else. So in that aspect, you are actually, you know, getting more creative. You're learning more things about your software or your hardware that you never.
Yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
Educate yourself on it.
Right, but at the same time, it's like when you're helping people, you're helping a community or whatever the case may be. When it's time for you to do something, do people ever return the favor? Like, say for instance, if you putting out a project, if you you know, maybe like putting together a course or whatever the case may be, do these people go and support and buy your sample pack? Do they go and support and buy your course? You know, forget how much you've taught them or you helped them out throughout the years. Do they support you even if they know that? Right? Even if that course that you put out, they already know, do they just still go and buy it? Because it could be some gems up in there that they could learn. But fuck that. I'm going to go and support him. This is a way that I can support this person for putting out all of this good energy in the community, and, you know, and the producers, you know, the producer community or whatever. Like, do you have those people that just support for no reason whatsoever, because you did something for them several times in the past, is what I'm getting at.
There's a couple of them.
Right, but
you know what I'm saying? There's a couple of them.
Let's put that in perspective.
But there's a couple of them, not all of them.
Like couple what? Like let's do like numbers.
A couple of people. I would say 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10?
Yeah, 4 out of 10. A little less than half.
You doing good then. If it's
a little less than half will reciprocate that same type of energy. But again, that's also because there's already established rapport and relationships with certain individuals. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be like, yo, listen, whatever it is that you're doing, you understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna support in any way, shape, size, form, or fashion that I can, because we have that type of rapport.
Right.
But
so
everybody doesn't do that at all. Not even less than half. Like I said, less than half only reciprocates. Yeah,
if you're doing 4 out of 10, like your numbers are extremely high. You know what I'm saying? Like you do it extremely well, because
but it's not but I would say it would be like number 2, number 5, number 8. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the other 6. It is always it's scattered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's scattered. It's never like just these people right here always. These people right here always support. These people always don't support. But the people that really support you are going to do it consistently. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to be careful with that, because people will act like they're gonna do shit for you, and they going, they gonna hold you down, or
yeah.
or what I'm saying, they act like they're gonna be, oh yeah, I got you, you know what I mean? Like my man say, don't say you got me, get me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't, you come into me for something, but then when I need something, it's like, oh yeah, I got you, but then everything goes silent. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then when it comes time around for you to ask me for something or some type of help or some type of information and I don't have it, now all of a sudden I'm being funny.
Right.
Nah, not now. It don't work that way. It don't work that way now. You know what I mean? It definitely has to be some sort of reciprocation involved in it, or some type of support somewhere along the line, because otherwise I'll just cut the line. You know what I mean? You can just dangle however and wherever you choose to dangle. I ain't even putting that type of energy into shit no more like that, man.
Right. Yeah. Nah. And I see that basically because I see a lot of posts. Maybe on Instagram I'm roaming or whatever, or I could just be on YouTube looking, through videos and stuff like that.
Right.
And you would see, based on the caliber of how much somebody has did something for the community or whatever, you would think that it would be more, comments, right, in the comment section. You would think that it would be more likes. You would think that it would be more people sharing their stuff on different platforms and stuff like that. But what I do notice is that a lot of times the people that do most of the help or do most of helping people, those are the people that get the less praise. You know what I'm saying? The least amount of praise.
Indeed,
it's like the ones that people praise a lot of times are the ones and I'm not gonna say that don't nobody give a shit about anybody or whatever, but the people that get praised are the ones that people are trying to get close to or get next to. People that necessarily haven't did anything for them. They just promote
of course.
And and share their stuff, and it's like, what has this person ever done for you that helped you in your life?
Chasing for namesake, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's go into that, man. How do you feel about that?
Listen, man. If you want to be the goddamn dog chasing behind the bus, so be it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I would tell you like this. You know what I mean? You better look both ways before you cross the street if I'm driving down the block, because I'm gonna run your ass over. I ain't even wasting no time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because people like it, and I guess today, they call it quote unquote clout chasing. You know what I mean? But it's like yo, you chasing after this person, and you know what I'm saying? You trying to get the attention from this person just so you can get like a like or something. Like that should be crazy, just so you can get a like. You know what I mean? And then it'd be like, oh, yo, such and such liked my thing or whatever. But guess what? That shit stops there.
Exactly. But meanwhile,
that shit stops right there.
People that actually go out of their way to do things for you. And these are the people that you probably have never supported. You probably have never shared anything of what they, what they got going on. You probably never even hit them up and asked them, yo, how's your day going? You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that goes a long way too when you looking for help or you looking for people to, assist you in some type of way. What do you think about that? Do you get those type of comments? Do people just hit you up like, yo, what's up, man? Yo, I'm just checking on you. Like, how often do you get that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I get some of that, man. And I want to say salute to my peoples out there. Microphone Bully, man. He's been like a microphone
shout out
bully.
Microphone Bully.
Yeah, shout out to Microphone Bully, man. He's been like he's one of them type of dudes.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's up, man? I'm just hitting you up, seeing what's going on, what you got going on, man. How can we put something together to build? You know what I mean? He's definitely one of the people, but they come far and few between, man. They come far and few between. I have a lot of people that, and I don't even want to say a lot. It's like a handful of people. You know what I'm saying? That definitely just on a strength, like, yo, what's up? What's good? What can I help you with that you got popping? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But again, that's very far and few in between. But I try to keep those people close, to keep those relationships open, and then those lines of communication open, because those are definitely the people that you're gonna need in your corner when it's crunch time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because everybody else is just gonna stand on the sideline and wait for you to pop and then be like, yo, you remember, man, we used to talk on Instagram and all of that. Yeah, but I asked you to repost or something or do this and do that, and it was a problem. But then when they ask you to do it, they expect you to do it because they look at your numbers and say, oh, okay, well, look, it's only a repost, it could repost, but that repost helps you twice as more than it helps me. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely keep the people that support and reciprocate. I definitely keep those relationships closer than the people on the outskirts, so to speak.
Okay, got you. Now, it's something that you said that I want to piggyback on too. When you talk about the numbers, how skewed are the numbers, man? You know what I'm saying? Because as we get more, open or we get more intelligent with YouTube and all these social media apps and how they work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of times nowadays the numbers aren't particularly adding up. Like you might have a lot of, say for instance, we got a lot of subscribers, right? We got people following us and stuff like that. But when we post nowadays, the views get less and less, right? Is that something you think dealing with the algorithm? Because, I just want to put it out there. We never bought any of our subscribers. We never bought any of our views. We never, everything was organic. But
yeah, everything was organic from the ground up, man.
Yeah, and but my thing is now, does subscribers or followers even matter at this point? Because you can have, 500 subscribers. You can have 1,000 subscribers and still get 30, 40,000 views per video or 30,000 likes and stuff like that. So at this point, how important are subscribers, or followers?
I mean, that shit is just to view, to look at the numbers game, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The numbers game, you know what I mean? But again, with that being said though, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the subscribers on YouTube and the followers on the gram and all of that. Y'all all are appreciated.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's appreciated. But people just, I don't, again, that's where you got to get out and network. That's where you got to get out and network and meet people, because them numbers don't mean anything. Like with all people buying likes and buying views and all of that, like them numbers aren't real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them numbers aren't real. And especially them numbers ain't real if you getting caught up in them numbers and them numbers are not equating to dollars.
Right.
Them numbers are not real. You understand what I'm saying? People, I got 100,000 followers on Instagram. Well, can you get $1? Can you get $1 from each of them followers? $1. If you could get $1 from 106,000 followers on Instagram, then you making some noise.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But other than that, them numbers ain't real, man. And the algorithms are controlled.
Right. And at this point, man, I think it's more so about your core fan base versus like a wide range of people at this point. Like with so many people on the internet, so much competition out there, it's just how can you build a strong foundation of followers? You know what I'm saying? Like people that actually rock with you. It could be, like you said, like between every 4 out of 10. Like that's good numbers. That's 40% of people that rock with you out of 10 people. Like that's great numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
It's like, I think that's the most important thing nowadays, man, is when you building your followers, when you building your fan base, make sure it's people that really mess with you. It's not just some people that kind of came, out the blue because you posted this or you did that kind of, caught their attention, but that's not necessarily what you do all the time. That's not who you are. Find
make sure
people.
It's organic, man.
Yeah, man. Find people or actually put out content that represents you, that you can find these people or attract these type of people that fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's like finding like-minded people.
Definitely, yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Find like-minded people. You do certain things, find people that are into what you doing, you know what I'm saying, and see how y'all can build and put something together. You know what I mean? I mean, hence Maschine Masters, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this was all organically. This was two like-minded brothers that was like, yo, what can we do? And you know what I mean? You do something this way, I do something this way. How can we put this together and make something? And bang, here we go. 7 years later, still rocking and rolling. You know what I mean?
7 years later.
7 years later. Word up, man. You just gotta find like-minded people, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Find people that you can align with and put something together, make some building blocks, build a foundation, and then build a house with it. Keep growing.
Yeah, and then I guess you could go into loyalty as well, man, because loyalty is very important. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of what we had when we linked up. You know what I'm saying? Our foundation was based on that. Like a lot of times, you might have like-minded people, but the loyalty is not there. So, two people probably, they thinking about the same thing. They want to build the same thing, but once it gets to a certain point, they out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true indeed.
And most of the time, it's right before the shit really start popping. Right
before it gets popping.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People heads start getting big and start, whatever the case may be. So I think that's real key too, man, with sticking by each other until you see something come to fruition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Because people think the grass is greener on the other side of the fence until they realize that it's turf. You know what I mean?
Right.
This shit ain't real. That ain't what you expected it. You know what I'm saying? You keep trying to put water on it, but that shit don't grow.
Right.
Because it's not what you expected. But again, that with that being said, that's not to discourage anybody, because you're going to come across those people. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, maybe 4 out of 10 are bona fide supporters. Right. You understand what I'm saying? The other 6 people, you might just be able to get something from one of them and trade something off with somebody else, but y'all might be like minds, but only on this part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because everything isn't for everybody.
Right.
You feel me? Everything isn't for everybody, but you have to, and again, that connects back to what we were saying earlier. You got to get out and network and meet people and learn people and see people's personalities and be able to differentiate, like, okay, I could deal with this person this way, I could deal with this person this way, but these 2 people might not work together. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta be wary. You gotta be wary of who you're dealing with. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And then let's go ahead into the final, which we were supposed to get into this a long time ago, but we kind of just got off topic, and I think we hit some good points. But
building.
Yeah, I think we can close it out with, what are some studio essentials, man? Like, what do you need in your studio, for you, or either somebody who's coming up, in the game right now, like they just getting into it. They might be just getting out of high school, or they still in high school. Their parents about to hook them up with something. What do you suggest that they start with, and what are your studio essentials?
Personally, my studio essentials, man, I personally like green M&Ms, all green M&Ms, yellow Skittles, incense. I only like almond candles. Nah, that shit gets like that sometimes. But I mean, studio essentials, you know what I'm saying? Just, vibe with what you vibe with. You know what I mean? I'm definitely an incense guy. You know what I'm saying? I like to have incense, you know what I'm saying, in the studio, depending on what the session is. People like to have drinks, you know what I'm saying, smoke and all of that. You understand what I'm saying? Henny and bud.
We talking about kids just getting in the game, B.
Yeah, well, some of this stuff these kids getting into the game with nowadays, I'll be like, yo, what the hell are y'all doing, man? Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Right. What is that purple shit you pouring in your cup, man? Why you got 2 cups? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm good, Playboy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it may be, man, what studio essentials, whatever will make you, whatever makes you comfortable and helps you in your creative mind or your creative being, because that's something that people will develop. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they might have a certain way that they produce. You know what I mean? Some people like to produce, which I don't have, which I do plan to get. Like, I like all of the cool little lights that be flickering around in the studio and all of that. That puts me in a creative space. Somebody might be, that might be some essentials that somebody might be able to need. Lights on the walls. It might be certain lighting. You understand what I'm saying? Some people like to listen to the music dumb loud where you can't even hear shit, but that's just the vibe that they be in. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I would definitely say, like, essentials. You know what I'm saying? Essentials, that's something that you will develop. You know what I'm saying? And when you in other people's sessions and you see how they vibe in their sessions, everybody vibes different in you know what I'm saying, in recording sessions and in studio sessions, like I was having a conversation behind the scenes with other people, you know what I mean, and they was, you know, specifically about this concept, you know what I'm saying, and they was like, yo, you know, I know artists that can't wear shoes to record.
What?
Like they have to take their shoes off and, you know, walk around with no shoes on in the studio to find their vibe and record. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, you know, essentials definitely come with how your workflow goes and how you vibe and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about yourself though? What are some of your essentials, man?
To me, like if you're going just from an aesthetic standpoint, like I have to have my workspace clean as shit. Like I can't work, you know, with clutter. Like
with
it's
clutter.
It's no way for me to get ideas out when I gotta, you know, move papers and I gotta, you know, move, you know, the microphone, put it over there and, you know, shit out of play. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say for me, it's definitely I gotta start with a clean studio, a clean slate.
Right.
And if you're going back to like, you know, the kids or people just getting in the game, like you need a DAW or you need some type of hardware. Like you got the MPC live, but you need something that you can actually record on and get your ideas out. So you need that. The other thing that I need is a good pair of headphones. Like headphones are real important to me, you know.
Right.
Because that allows you to hear all the frequencies clear without all the reverb and the echo of the room and stuff like that, especially if your room is not treated. You know what I'm saying? So I would say those three things, man. A studio got to be clean. You know what I'm saying? I got to have some headphones and you got to have like a DAW or something that you can actually record on. All the other stuff is just kind of extras, like you said, the lights. I got them joints, they cool, you know, but I don't necessarily put them on all the time. It's just like when you're looking for a different vibe, you know what I'm saying? What else, man? I think that those are the basic elements right there that I
would say this, like, you know what I'm saying? If you're going into a studio session or you having a session, you know what I mean, and you don't have no DAW, no shit like that, then like, what are you like? What, like, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing? You know what I mean? I hope you ain't in there beating on 5-gallon Home Depot buckets, which actually sound dope. I've sampled it before. Actually sounds dope. You know what I'm saying? But
And another thing, man. You know, I feel like you didn't hit this point was samples, man. Samples. You need samples, dog. You got you know, probably because they just come. That's a given with you.
That comes with it. You know what I'm saying? That comes with it. Now, cause see, like when I say essentials, I'm in my mind. You understand what I'm saying? I'm already coming with all of that. Essentials is to create the vibe.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In there, cause it's like, you know what I mean? Like what the hell is the sense of going to the studio if you don't have no sounds and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh.
I mean, surprised at people who show up without nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Or,
I know a lot of people that do that. But see, like, I know some artists, you know what I'm saying? I know artists that, you know, some artists where essentials in the studio for them is that they need people in the studio.
Got you.
Just to, you know what I mean, to create the vibe. You understand what I'm saying? You just need people in the studio, just whatever it is, it's just people being around. You understand what I'm saying? There's other people that I've been in sessions with and they don't want a lot of people around because that's how they vibe. And you know what I mean? They studio essentials is, you know what I'm saying, a cool vibe and, you know what I mean, maybe a candle or something depending on what the session is. You know what I mean? But then you go into a session the next day and there's 40 people in there.
Right. Yeah,
but,
I would
gotta
be
able
I would
to learn
be
how to handle and maintain that shit too, though. You know what I'm saying?
I would probably be in the latter, man. I'm never really, when I'm creating, I don't like to be on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I like to be able to create freely. You know, make changes if I want to. It's real rare that I might create with some people, you know, different people or whatever.
People around,
because it's almost like when you're creating, if you're not creating with somebody that you have like some type of connection, like that y'all actually on the same page and y'all create the same type of music, or if it's somebody that can, you know, strengthen your weaknesses and stuff like that. Right. If it's not either or, it almost feels like it's just becoming like a a judgment zone. You know what I'm saying? Like people might be saying back, like, why you doing this like that? Like, you know, if I did it, I'd do it like that. But
those is the people that you say, yo, all right, well, my bad here.
Right.
You do it then.
Right.
If you can't do it, then have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Go over there and vibe over there in the corner like you was just doing and let me create, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Beat it, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't come over here trying to tell me what the hell to do, and you don't even know how to turn the goddamn equipment on.
Right.
But again, some people for that, you know what I'm saying? Some people for that, I know people that can't play or don't know how to turn on the keyboard, but they got a dope ear.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it all depends on how the vibe is in the studio in the session at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Right. It all depends on how the vibe is.
Right. Now that makes a lot of sense, man. I think we done dropped some, you know, a couple gems today for the listeners
yes,
out there,
indeed, man. Word up.
We definitely gonna keep posted, or you gonna keep us posted at the NAMM event. I'm not gonna make it out there this year, so you the ears to the street, man. So I know you're gonna do a good job. You always,
politicking out there.
Yeah, that's
definitely
you.
Gonna be politicking. And anybody out there, you know what I'm saying, if you are attending NAMM, you know what I mean, and you listening to this podcast and you are attending NAMM in the upcoming week, you know what I'm saying, if you see me, it's Billy Blast, holler like you know me. You heard? Don't be shy, man. Closed mouth don't get fed. Come say what's up. Let's politic, man.
Hell yeah. You know that's how you do with every event, man. So
word up.
Yeah,
word up. Moving and shaking, man.
I'll definitely, you know, we'll be in touch anyway, but hopefully we probably could, you know, have a remote podcast out there while you at NAMM, maybe catch up with a couple of people or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
definitely
tune in or whatever.
Moving around with the mic.
Yeah, so I think that would be dope. For those people that's just coming to the podcast, like this is our 4th episode right now that me and B put together. Make sure y'all subscribe to us on iTunes. Make sure y'all hit the like button on YouTube and just help us, man. Share the podcast. Let everybody know that, you know, we're doing it and we're trying to keep building. So just if you have any suggestions on what you think that we can improve on, or if it's some things that you want to hear in the future, don't be shy, man. Let us know in the comments, and you can follow us everywhere. I'm at AG Got Beats.
I'm at Billy Blast on Instagram and all over the place.
Yes, sir. And then follow Maschine Masters at Maschine Masters. And again, this is the More Than Beats podcast. We'll holler at y'all on the next one.
All right.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.